Hello and welcome to everyone new. I'm Kira, and here we share and nurture a lifestyle of self-reliant and self-sufficient women. Today, we're going to explore 10 principles of high-value women in love. Let's go. I don't know about you, but when I was little, I often heard advice from older women around me saying that a girl needs to have value and make herself valuable. But what exactly did value mean, and how do you make yourself valuable? It always revolved around things like having to pretend to be high value, acting like you weren't interested even if you were. I felt like there was something lacking in sincerity there. It still felt like playing games, and personally, I don't like playing games. I prefer everything to come from a place of genuine sincerity. Later, when I had the chance to meet truly high-value women, I realized they still enjoyed playing games, but the foundation was something far more important: genuine value asterisk. The word value in making oneself valuable, as I understand it, means true worth. When a woman truly has worth, she doesn't need to pretend to be valuable. Her intrinsic value will speak for itself, emanating an energy that others can see and feel. So I understood that high-value women don't need to play hard to get or pretend. If they do play games, it's because they enjoy it. They like the fun of being pursued, chased, flirted with. It's enjoyable. It's not a forced act because it doesn't affect their real worth. They know they are truly high-value individuals. You often hear the phrase, "don't chase, attract." But how do you attract someone? What kind of person is attractive? It's someone with high value. People are actually quite simple. We always want to be near those from whom we feel we receive a lot of value. For example, we feel happier when we're with them, we feel better about ourselves, we feel like we learn more, we feel like they connect us with other talented people. All of that is value, spiritual or material, but fundamentally it's value. And people like to be near those who can bring value to their lives. Therefore, an attractive person is someone others want to be near because they have so much value to give. So, if you want to become an attractive woman without having to fake it or play hard to get, the simplest and most enduring way is to elevate your own value. When your value is high, you will naturally attract high-value people. Like attracts like, we resonate with similar frequencies and energy. And when you have high value, as I've experienced, you're very clear about what you want and what you don't want. So, when you know clearly what you want and you know who and what you'll say yes to, it becomes very easy to say no to people and opportunities that aren't right for you. This saves you a lot of time and reduces the risk of getting hurt in relationships, because from the very beginning, you're clear about what you want. In today's video, I'll use an example of a couple I deeply admire: Barack Obama and Michelle Obama. Allow me to read a short biography of Michelle Obama for you. Michelle LaVaughn Robinson Obama, born January 17, 1964, is an American attorney, university administrator at the University of Chicago, and former First Lady of the United States. She is the wife of former U.S. President Barack Obama. Raised on the South Side of Chicago, Michelle graduated from Princeton University and Harvard Law School. She returned to Chicago to work for the law firm Sidley Austin, served on the staff of Chicago Mayor Richard M. Daley, and also worked for the University of Chicago and the University of Chicago Medical Center. She is the sister of Craig Robinson, former head coach of the Oregon State University men's basketball team. Do you see? The background of a woman who became the wife of a former U.S. president is not ordinary. That's why they are still so happy today, because this woman, from a young age, was taught by her parents and grandparents that a woman must have her own value, education, knowledge, and diverse experiences. She was taught to dare to stand up and speak the truth, to stand up for justice. And it was precisely this that attracted Barack Obama when they worked together at the law firm, where they were the only two Black people in the company. The greatest attraction comes from intelligence, compassion, and the humanity of a person, not from waiting hours or days to text back to prove your worth. You can do that and still not be a truly high-value person. True value must come from within. When you genuinely have value inside you, every one of your actions radiates that value without you needing to scheme or play games. It's truly who you are. And no matter how hard you try to pretend to be valuable, how long can you fool someone? Eventually, they will realize your true worth. So, the best way is to cultivate your value from within. Here's another example: sexuality. When I was young, I often heard that if a girl has had relations, she would no longer be respected. She would lose value. I think instead of educating girls this way, why don't we teach them how precious and valuable their bodies are, and that your value will only increase as you grow, learn, mature, and enhance your wisdom. Everything increases. When you truly see yourself as valuable, it's natural that you won't easily allow others to touch you or even enter a deep relationship with you. When you truly feel your value is high, you will automatically have self-respect, and those around you will feel and grant you that same respect. That is the true demeanor of a high-value woman, truly self-reliant, knowing who she is, where she stands, and what she can give. Lesson 2 in love is that we must always nurture appreciation and gratitude. I've observed a group of people who harbor negative thoughts and perspectives about the opposite sex. For example, some women often criticize or complain about men, saying they are bad, childish, selfish, greedy, and so on. But at the same time, these very women crave love and affection from a man. I think, simply put, if someone wants your love and wants to be close to you, but at the same time, they don't respect you, always criticize you, or judge you, would you want to be close to that person? I believe not, right? That's a huge contradiction. You criticize them, but you also want them. You need to decide which you want more, for your opinions to be right or for you to be happy. And it's not just about the opposite sex. Do you respect women? Do you respect people in general? Because love here isn't just romantic love. There are many kinds of love, right? Love for parents, grandparents, children, aunts, uncles, relatives, colleagues, everyone. If you don't have that sense of appreciation and gratitude within you, people will feel it, and they will naturally feel uncomfortable being around you for too long. That's why there's a saying, appreciate it, you own it, be grateful, it multiplies. When you appreciate something, you will possess it. But if you don't continue to nurture gratitude, that thing, that person, or that relationship will also leave. And this is something you need to cultivate and remind yourself of every day, because people often forget and take things for granted, seeing what they have as a given. But you must always remember that no one is obligated to be by your side. They choose to be with you out of love and affection, and you need to remind yourself of this every day. Only then can your relationship grow strong and steadfast over time. It's like my YouTube channel. I started it last year, but at that time, my sense of appreciation and gratitude wasn't clearly activated. It wasn't strong enough. So, after a few videos, I felt like I ran out of energy, and I stopped. It wasn't until recently, when my appreciation and gratitude grew stronger and clearer, that I started making videos again, and I feel so happy when people embrace them. So once again, that's proof of the saying, appreciate it, you own it, be grateful, it multiplies. Because I genuinely appreciate and am grateful for every view, every like, every comment you share with me. I know you don't have an abundance of free time, yet you choose to watch my channel. Some of your comments are so heartfelt, they deeply move me. When I truly look back, I see there are countless things to be grateful for. I truly owe a debt of gratitude to millions and millions of hearts. And when that happens, my heart capacity naturally expands, and I feel that the relationships around me have become much better. Lesson 3 is a lesson I have to thank one of my ex-boyfriends for. When we were talking, he told me that when you choose a partner, one of the most important questions you need to ask yourself is, do I truly want to be friends with this person? Because love, especially the initial romantic feelings, will eventually fade. What remains is friendship. Of course, the chemistry, the romance will still be there, but we'll have to work to maintain and nurture it. And on days when you're busy or tired, all you need is someone you can truly trust and share with, someone you know can love you unconditionally, someone you can tell anything to. That's true friendship. When I heard that, it deeply resonated with me. It was like an epiphany. And at that moment, I looked at him and asked myself, do I want to be friends with this person? And after that, there was no after that. That's why he became an ex-boyfriend, but I'm so grateful to him. Everyone who comes into our lives, my friends, is a teacher. If we pay attention, listen, and open our eyes wide to receive the lessons, there will always be invaluable insights. When Michelle talks about Barack or Barack talks about Michelle, they both always refer to each other as a companion, a soulmate with whom they can share everything. And on Michelle's birthday, Barack posted, "Happy birthday, my best friend," not "my wife," because it signifies something so sacred. I once read somewhere, I don't know if it was from Krishnamurti or someone else, that friendship is the purest form of love because it's unconditional. The other person doesn't need to meet all your needs or expectations. They don't need to see you every day, yet you still deeply love them. Don't you have friends you might not talk to for a year or more, but when you meet, it's like you just saw them yesterday? That's unconditional love. And if you can have that unconditional love with your life partner, then that is truly wonderful, and it's absolutely possible. Lesson 4 is to love with both instinct and skill. If you only love by instinct, meaning just following your emotions, and you lack skill, then that only lasts for the initial phase. When emotions overflow, you follow them, but when they recede, you also feel lost. This is how most couples break up. Skills, on the other hand, include communication, compromise, comforting, encouraging, and acknowledging. These are very, very important skills that I believe are crucial for a happy, stable, healthy, and joyful marriage and family life. And the good news is, skills can always be learned. Even Michelle and Barack Obama still have to learn, my friends. When Oprah Winfrey interviewed them and asked if they ever had to see a therapist or marriage counselor, Michelle very casually said, "Of course we do, we always need to learn. How can we know everything? Especially in relationships, everything is constantly changing, and there are always new skills we need to learn and update." So, continuous learning together is one of the most important things in a relationship. Another point is that because love requires both instinct and skills take time to learn, just like when you start a job, learn a language, a sport, or any other skill, you definitely can't master it on the first day or in the first few days. Relationships are the same. It's possible you'll have to date and love many people, and through those experiences, you'll gain insights and learn what you did well and what you could improve. Slowly, your skills will be refined, improved, and become better. Then, at the right time, you'll find the right person for you. So, some of you might have experienced heartbreak once or twice, or you're afraid to love again. But if you view loving as learning a skill, you won't expect to fall in love once and stay happy forever. You'll enter relationships more realistically, calmly, patiently, gently, and forgivingly towards each other. Lesson 5 is, you must do what you say. Women love with their ears, right? Oh, men sound so wonderful, making all sorts of promises, making you think, wow, they're such an amazing person on earth. But when things get tough, when things aren't cute or good anymore, that's when you see if they truly live up to their words. And that takes time to observe and see if there's consistency between this person's words and actions. The same applies to ourselves. Are our words and actions consistent? Or do we also talk the talk but don't walk the walk, making countless promises but then failing to deliver? Michelle shared that one of the reasons she could stay with her husband until now is because Barack Obama always kept his word. From the very beginning until the year she interviewed with Oprah, 2020, which was 28 years, Barack consistently kept his promise to be the man and husband he vowed to be. He was very consistent, very steadfast. He said what he did and did what he said. That's truly the charisma of a president, isn't it? But your partner doesn't need to be a president. It's still one of the most important character traits and qualities I find. And to attract someone who does what they say, you must be that way yourself first. So sometimes when we look back and wonder why we attract people who say one thing and do another, we realize sometimes we do the same. Maybe not in love, but in daily life. We say, oh, I'll exercise today, but then we don't. I'll take care of my skin today, but then, oh, I'm too lazy, too tired. I'll go to bed early, but then we stay up until 2 or 3 a.m. binge-watching shows. These are all instances where we break promises to ourselves. We just talk, but we don't act. And that creates an energy within you, attracting people who are like you, not people you want to attract. So, to attract the people you want, you first have to become that person, embody that character, that personality. From now on, pay attention. Do you keep your word? Start with the smallest things. You don't need to do anything grand. Slowly, day by day, as you uphold your integrity, as you do what you say, your value will gradually increase within you. You'll feel more valuable. A valuable person is someone who says what they do and does what they say. Lesson 6 is that change is natural. I often hear the phrases, "You're not like you used to be," or "You've changed, you're not like you were before." And I think, Well, that's obvious. Why is everyone so surprised? Over time, we have to change, and we should change. It's just a matter of which direction we change in. And once again, we have the power to choose that. Change is inevitable. Every day we get older, our appearance changes, right? Every day we go out, meet new people, learn new things, and then we reflect and our wisdom and mindset change. In truth, when you wake up the next day, you're already a different person. You just don't realize it. Inside your body, everything has already changed from yesterday. When you recognize this, you won't be surprised when your loved one changes. So, proactively change in a positive direction, in a direction that both of you desire. Change together, walk together, instead of changing in negative directions or in two opposite directions. Change together, grow together, mature together, age together. That's the kind of change that is worthwhile and should happen. I really love that old movie, 50 First Dates asterisk. The guy falls in love with this girl who has amnesia. Every day she wakes up, she forgets everything that happened the day before. So, this guy loves her so much that every day, he woos her again like it's the first time they met. And by the end of the day, he has to make her fall in love with him. He did this for 50 consecutive days, my friends. And then, at the end of the movie, she's lying on a yacht, and when she wakes up, she sees a videotape that says, "Play this and watch. You are my wife, and we have 2 children. I know you'll wake up and not remember anything, but these are the things that have happened, and your husband and children love you very much." And he shows her videos of herself with her children and husband. That movie deeply moved me. So, if you can look at your partner, your spouse, with that kind of gaze every day, you'll realize that when you wake up, you actually have a new husband, a new wife, a new partner. What they liked yesterday or the day before might not be what they like today. So, ask, get to know them, and you'll surely discover many surprising things. And that will make it very hard for you to get bored in love. Lesson 7 is a lesson that I'm very much inspired by my best friend. You can be beautiful, intelligent, and happy all at the same time. You don't need to trade off, you don't need to sacrifice. We hear phrases like, if a woman is too beautiful, she can't be intelligent. Or, if she's both beautiful and intelligent, her love life will be difficult. But it's not the case, my friends. If you believe that, it will create that reality. If you don't believe it, you won't have that reality. It's that simple. And my best friend is living proof of that because she refuses to believe in those thoughts. And today, she is very happy, very beautiful. She's a model, very intelligent, constantly improving herself, developing herself, reading books, practicing meditation. She's French, by the way, but she's so brilliant. And she has a partner and just gave birth a little over 2 months ago, but she's so happy, got back in shape so quickly, and now she's walking, going to the gym, swimming every day. Because she refuses to believe in thoughts that limit herself. So, don't limit yourself by other people's imaginations. Give yourself the chance to be beautiful, intelligent, and happy. Lesson 8 is that, if you don't proactively acknowledge and praise the good in the other person, then darkness and negativity will appear. Observe this. When you first meet, you praise a lot, and the other person also praises you a lot. You're so smart, you're so amazing, you're so beautiful, and so on. But after a while, the praise stops and you turn to criticism. You start to feel that the things you once praised are now just expected, normal, nothing to compliment. Like, oh, you should be that way, I should be that way. Why praise it? Then, under the guise of criticizing for improvement, you continue. But you can always help others improve by acknowledging the good qualities already present in them. That is the most effective way, my friends, and it doesn't cause drama, it doesn't hurt the listener, and they can still receive what you want to convey. For example, if someone is lazy about washing dishes, but one day they do wash them, you should immediately acknowledge it. Wow, your dishes are so clean, you're so thoughtful, you're so considerate. If you do that a few times from then on, they'll wash the dishes every day. You don't need to jump in and say, "Why are you so lazy? Why are you so messy? Why don't you think about my feelings? Why do you leave all the housework to me?" That will surely make them not only not want to do it, but they'll resent you and deliberately not do it. So acknowledge your partner's good points every day. As human beings, we always have good points and bad points. It's just a matter of what you choose to see. And that choice is in your hands, in the hands of us women, my friends. We are not passive or at a disadvantage. A woman's praise is something truly magical for men. They can do anything for a compliment from a woman. Go ahead and praise them, acknowledge them, and after a while, you'll see miracles happen. Lesson 9 is that no one can or has to understand what's in your head or make you happy. That is your responsibility. Understanding what's in your head is your job, and making yourself happy is your job. You must always remind yourself of that, because once again, we humans often forget. You always have to remind yourself that the person next to you is just an extra asterisk, just a asterisk topping, just a asterisk bonus. Don't expect 100% of your happiness to be placed on them, because they definitely can't deliver, even if they want to. Because it's not the rule, it's not how the game is played on this planet, at least not at this moment. And that's also what Michelle Obama shared in her video when talking to Oprah, that her happiness and responsibility are her own, not her husband's, not her children's, but hers. A woman, the wife of a former president, also says this. In that position, she would be perfectly entitled to demand more, right? She could demand very unreasonable things. But once again, that's why I admire Michelle so much. She is so intelligent and so realistic. She only states the truth. That's my responsibility. So, what you can do for yourself, do it. And then, what others want to do for you is just extra, and you are ready to receive it. Furthermore, if you want others to understand you and make you happy, you must know how to tell them. You must know how to share, how to communicate, right? You must show them how to love you, how to make you happy. And sometimes, how you say it is even more important than what asterisk you say. And if you don't know how to speak, then please watch my video, Communicating Like a Lady. There, I share a few tips you can apply immediately today. Lesson 10, the final lesson, is to listen to advice from people who have the life you dream of. For example, if you want a happy marriage and family life, listen to advice from people who are happily married. But limit yourself, or be extremely cautious, when listening to advice from people who are struggling or whose marriages are not fulfilling. Because what's in your head is in your hands, their reality is not stable, which means somewhere in their subconscious, they still have thoughts that are limiting their chances of happiness. So, when listening to advice from such cases, you need to be extremely cautious. In my opinion, for safety, it's always best to only listen to advice from people who have a happy, fulfilling, and stable marriage. And ideally, those who have had a long-lasting marriage, like Michelle and Barack Obama. They've been together for over 30 years. They've had enough time to look back on their journey as husband and wife, raising children, and have distilled many pearls of wisdom that they can pass on to us. It's not just theoretical doctrines from books, but something that comes from real-life experience. They have truly lived through it. And I, Kira, am also just someone on a journey of learning, because I see some of you commenting, asking if I'm married or have children. I want to answer you very sincerely. I'm still single. I've had relationships in the past, and now I'm choosing a single life because I have other priorities in my life. And one of those priorities is creating this YouTube channel to share with you all. I also feel that I still have much to learn and develop, and to prepare my health and physical fitness so that when I do start a family and have children, I'll have a good foundation and physical strength. I don't want to passively accept those opportunities. I want to be truly proactive in my mindset. So those are 10 lessons I've learned and love, observing those around me from my mentors and teachers. For me, anyone who teaches me a lesson is a teacher. So sometimes I say, my teacher once said this, my teacher once said that. But it's truly not just one teacher, my friends, but many, many people. I hope this video was valuable to you. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to my video. And once again, where there is love, there is revolution. Bye.